The jury is hearing the final arguments to help them decide if an Aurora dentist is guilty of his wife's poisoning death in 2023. Thanks for joining us. I'm Lauren Scafidi. James Craig is accused of killing his wife Angela by slipping arsenic and a chemical found in eye drops into her protein shakes. Prosecutors claim he even injected her with arsenic as she laid in a hospital bed. All of that happened after years of infidelity. Closing arguments during this morning, a prosecutor stressed Craig's internet searches for poisons that couldn't be detected and how to make murder look like a heart attack.
All of this, the research that he did for days and hours, the work that he did to procure these poisons, to administer these poisons over and over and over, not for 1 day or 2 days or 3 days, but for 10 days. That's deliberation. That's intent to kill. That's not some lesser mental state.
You know what they have proven beyond a reasonable doubt from this table? From these people, you know what they proved? They proved beyond a reasonable doubt that this guy was a pretty crappy husband. He cheated on his wife constantly.
Craig faces charges of first-degree murder, solicitation of perjury, and tampering with evidence. The Midwest may be used to the humidity, but we are not. Listen to this. Today, Denver had its highest dew point in 17 years, and it's only going to fuel stronger showers and storms. Joining me now is Jaden Knowles with our 9 News Weather Impact team for a look at our forecast. 1 foot out the door, Jaden, and you can feel that humidity.
Definitely, and I'll tell you what else is feeling it, my hair. My hair is all frizzy and stuff because of the humidity. Like I said earlier this morning, almost looking like the Jackson 5. So, yeah, it's very humid. Pack the hairspray. And like Lauren just mentioned, that was the highest dew point, 66 degrees since back in 2008. Current temperatures, the mid to upper 70s. We're not going to warm up a whole lot this afternoon due to that increase in cloud coverage as well as the smoke that we're seeing from those ongoing fires. But looking at current dew points, you can see still sitting in the low 60s. I mean, that is a very high dew point for the state of Colorado, especially here in Denver. There's some isolated showers out there towards the high country as well as parts of Fort Collins, and storms are starting to get started down towards the south along the I-25 corridor near Colorado Springs. But so far, there is a flood watch that is issued. You can see Castle Rock, Colorado Springs, and also Lyman is included within that watch, and we're expecting some heavy downpours of rain. Once again, storms are expected this afternoon starting at 2 p.m. and lasting until about 7 p.m. this evening, and we have the upper 80s in the forecast. Tomorrow will be a weather impact alert. Of course, I have more details about that in my full forecast. Lauren?
Jaden, thank you so much. We've gotten new information since this morning on the woman killed after a truck hit her in Aurora. The crash happened at Havana and Jewel around 7 a.m. Aurora police say the victim was a 72-year-old woman. She was pushing a walker across Jewel during a red light, but not in the crosswalk. She hit a hole in the road and she fell, but a truck made a right turn, hitting her. The driver stayed on scene, but the woman died at the hospital. Human remains found at the Rocky Mountain National Park last month have been identified, according to the National Park Service. Authorities say it was the body of a 40-year-old, Stephen Noto. He's from Western New York. A 12-year-old boy found his remains near the Alpine Ridge Trail, but the coroner believes he died in late November. They couldn't determine the exact cause of death. Boulder police warning people about a mountain lion that killed a small dog in North Boulder. They say Friday night, a couple was out on Balsam Drive walking their dog on leash when the mountain lion pounced and dragged their dog away. The big cat was spotted more than once around that neighborhood. Animal protection officers found the dog's body on Saturday. The animal shelter, taking care of dozens of animals rescued from a home in North Glen, hopes the public will help them out with some supplies. Police found 96 cats and 19 dogs in a home near Wyco Park. That was 2 weeks ago. 2 animals were also dead inside that house, although no charges have been filed as of yet. The Riverdale Animal Shelter is now taking care of them, but it needs more supplies. It'll take food, treats, towels, and toys. The animals will also be looking for a new home soon. If you can find some ways to help, we've got those on our website, 9news.com. Authorities say the shooter who killed 4 people in a Manhattan office building left a note at the scene expressing frustrations toward his intended target. That was the NFL offices. NBC's Aaron McLaughlin has more details.
Active shooter in the Midtown North at Park Avenue.
New details on the terrifying shooting in Midtown Manhattan.
Please stay inside, shelter in place.
After a gunman opened fire in a Park Avenue skyscraper Monday evening, killing 4 people, including a New York City police officer who was working as security in the building.
Male is wearing a black suit and a bulletproof vest.
The suspect, identified by law enforcement as 27-year-old Shane Tamura of Las Vegas, captured in this photo armed with an M4 assault rifle. The NYPD says Tamura, a former high school football player with a history of mental illness, drove cross-country days earlier. And NBC News learning Tamura left a note found at the scene. According to officials familiar with the investigation, he expressed anger that his mental illness may be linked to playing football. 2 officials saying he mentioned CTE, a brain disease linked to head trauma, as a possible cause of his condition. Investigators are looking into whether that's behind his targeting of the building, which is home to NFL headquarters. It also houses investment giant Blackstone and the accounting firm KPMG. NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell saying an NFL employee was seriously injured in the attack. Police finding a loaded revolver, rifle case, and more ammunition in the suspect's vehicle, and describing the chilling scene.
The building's security camera footage shows the shooter enter the lobby, turn right, and immediately open fire on an NYPD officer. He then shoots a woman who took cover behind a pillar and proceeds through the lobby, spraying it with gunfire.
Police say another security guard was killed before Tamura headed to the 33rd floor, where he started firing again.
1 person was struck and killed on that floor. He then proceeds down a hallway and shoots himself in the chest.
Approximately 100 people hiding.
Terrified employees barricading entrances with furniture.
You heard there was an active shooter inside the building. How did you find out?
They mentioned it via email. We started looking around, then we started to find a place to hide. Pretty scary.
Overnight, a dignified transfer to honor one of the lives lost, 36-year-old NYPD officer Didarul Islam. The young father's pregnant wife is expecting their 3rd child.
He's a true blue New Yorker, not only in the uniform he wore, but in his spirit and energy of loving this city.
So sad. UC Health is starting to do elective surgeries again at the Anschutz campus. They were postponed all last week. The University of Colorado Hospital told us last week that they were delaying certain surgeries because their cleaning and sterilizing department was short-staffed. State health officials were also investigating a complaint about it. The medical campus told us things are back to normal now, and they're rescheduling those postponed surgeries. However, they didn't answer any of our questions about how many surgeries were affected. Officials did tell us the investigation into that complaint is still open, so that's all they can tell us for now.